I think that's us, Susie. Good morning.
We're here. Good morning. Welcome
What
around
a
the Workstand Daily.
what a crowd.
We got loyal fans. You do what you can to appease them.
They applaud whenever I press that button over there.
Amazing.
Well,
Yes.
yesterday on the podcast episode, we talked a lot about what the website should be and to be effective. And one of those
Yeah.
things was crisp, clean, easy to navigate navigation.
Yeah. So maybe we should talk about how to build your navigator.
I think we should. As we start, know that Navigator Builder is probably the number one most difficult thing to get your head around for new users in the Workstand
Yep.
platform. So don't feel bad if it doesn't make sense right off. Hopefully, you can refer to this little video and get some help. But it is incredibly powerful, and sometimes there's a trade-off between incredibly powerful and easy to understand. So that certainly
Mm-hmm.
is this. So let's look at the this on this little test site. This is the navigation. So the shop sale, shop bikes, shop gear, shop services. Makes sense. And the way we build that is back here in the admin at website and navigator builder.
Mm-hmm.
We will see a series of navigators. Now, a navigator in our system is it's not really a thing. You make it up. It's think of it like a file cabinet. So this is
Yes.
this navigator list is the file cabinet, and these individual navigators are the big drawers in the file cabinet. These drawers can hold pieces of paper, which we would just call a page, just a page on the site, or they could even hold other navigators. And so we see here there's an about navigator. And if we actually edit this resources navigator, we will see that that about navigator also lives there. And so blue and black things are pages, and red things are other navigators. Good so far?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Okay.
following.
Yep. And so the way that looks on the front of the website is if we go to that resources navigator, we'll see the about navigator in it. And then there's the two pages that live in the about navigator. So that makes sense so far.
Mm-hmm.
On in the navigator builder, the navigator that has this little blue pill next to it, this little blue button that says homepage navigator, which is currently set to be this main menu navigator, that is the one that shows up here on the front of your website. In order for something to show up in this navigation, it
Mm-hmm.
must be contained in whichever of these navigators is marked as the homepage navigator. And so as we edit that homepage navigator, we will see shop bike, shop sale, shop bike, shop gear, service resources, just
Mm-hmm.
like we see here shop sale, shop bike, shop gear, service, and resources. So that's how those match up.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, let's back up one step. I meant to do this. So the fact that there's a navigator called about, and if you go to page editor, you see a folder called about. This is always a confusing piece. These two are not connected. So just because you have a folder called about, that has nothing to do with the navigation builder. So not connected. And you might think, well, wouldn't it be easier if just whatever your folder structure was your navigation? And it might be easier, but as you can see, there are a lot of folders here that don't need to have anything to do with site navigation.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not connected allows you to build your site navigation without being bound by the folder structure on the site, which turns out to be quite handy.
Yeah.
So back to this. So in this main menu navigator, these are the things that will show up on the site. If you want to add pages to a navigator, let's talk about that. So let's say we edit this about navigator that we know doesn't show up by itself in the main in the site navigation, but does show up in here. If we want to edit that, then we can click the little green pencil and edit it. And if you want to import a page, then just below here, you'll see these pages available for import. So these are your folders. This is just kind of reflected from the page editor. And we can open up one of those folders and choose a page, and we can preview what's in there if we want to see what it looks like, or we can import it. So if we click this little orange or yellow import page icon, that will import it, if the internets will allow, into that navigator. And then one of the common mistakes is neglecting to enable it. So check the
Mm-hmm.
display box, and then we can save that change. And then we can publish that change. And then when we go back to here, before I refresh this page, we'll see there's just these 2 pages in it. And then once I refresh that page, I think I'm refreshing the page. Then we see that contact us has been added.
Nice.
And so that is how you construct your site navigation.
Yeah.
How's
You
that?
made it sound so simple. I really love what really resonated with me, just like everyone just like a retailer, we all have to figure out how to utilize these tools as well. But the
Yep.
filing cabinet piece really
Yeah. Yeah.
worked for my brain.
I think that does really help. So remember, it's not. It's hard to say this. It's not really a thing. It's you just make this thing and build it yourself. So
Yeah.
you basically you start and say I want to build my file cabinet, and it's just a box, but I'm going to divide it into these drawers, and so each of these navigators that you create, and by the way, and again, you're creating these. They're not pulled in from Page Editor or anywhere else. You add a new navigator and you build those. And if you want comments, that's fine. They don't show up anywhere. And then you save that. And then now there's this new navigator here. Now it has nothing in it, right? It's empty. And so now you have a new drawer in your filing cabinet
Hmm.
and you want to fill that drawer with either pages or other navigators. And you really have no restrictions in that. So I guess back to that whole point of
Yeah.
being efficient, don't get carried away. Every page you have doesn't need to be in navigation anywhere.
Hmm.
Only the important things that are relevant to shoppers and visitors need to be there. So don't just go, well, I've got these other 12 pages. Let me just load those up in a navigator. Um, there's really no need to do that.
Mm-mm. No, show some self restraint. It's good. But yeah, that's something that we can help with. You want just another set of eyes, someone to let you know what they think, what you think maybe best practices. Another good way to help kind of look at ways to maybe eliminate pages or pull them out of your navigation if you're looking to clean things up would be looking at your Google Analytics, which Mark, you recently had Allison join and talk
Yep.
about adding a Google Analytics tracking code. So
That's a good point. If you're curious if a page has enough value to be in site navigation, go look at Google Analytics. If 6 people have looked at that page in the last 90 days, the answer is no. That's not a lot of traffic. But if 100 folks are looking at that page, it is valuable. Maybe it would be even more valuable if it was prominently placed in a navigator somewhere. But remember, this this navigation space prime real estate,
prime real
and
estate, yep.
search engines crawl those, and so there's a value to having a page in navigation because it's going to be indexed more sooner and more frequently. But irrelevant content is a negative thing, and so if you've got a bunch of pages nobody uses, a search engine knows that too. So they probably should be deactivated completely,
Hmm.
but they certainly don't belong in site navigation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for the tutorial. It's a good brush up of my skills.
Right on. All right. Well, we will find another topic and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
And we'll see you then.
Yeah. Dancing, dancing. We had a comment